Once again, another warm round of applause, please. For your information, the Youth Economic Forum, which is our annual flagship event by the Perdana Fellow Alumni Association, is where intellect meets innovation and passion converges with purpose, creating a vibrant atmosphere of ideas and inspiration.
Established in 2016, the Youth Economic Forum has consistently strived to foster critical, intellectual, and meaningful discourse on current issues and global trends, igniting the minds of young thinkers like you.
This year, we are diving into the theme Growing Prosperity, Working Together, Restoring Malaysia, embarking on an exhilarating journey through 5 key agendas today.
Hold on to your seats as we explore the economic agenda, the global agenda, the business agenda, the education agenda, and the political agenda. We hope that you are ready for a day packed with insightful discussions and groundbreaking ideas.
Dear distinguished guests, government officials, representatives from non-governmental organizations, our partners, our media partners, and our fellow participants, please give yourselves a round of applause for being here with us.
As Sasana, Kijang, Negara, Malaysia today, we would like to take the opportunity to acknowledge our partners. Let's give them a round of applause, which are our official partner, PayNet, our corporate patron, Ernst & Young, EY,
our official education partner, Taylor's University,
our silver sponsor, Asia School of Business, ASB,
our bronze sponsor, Malaysian Industrial Development Finance Berhad, MIDF,
our bronze sponsor as well, Kuala Lumpur Kepong Berhad, KLK,
our career partner, Talent Corp,
our venue partner, Bank Negara, Malaysia,
our strategic partner, World Bank Group,
our strategic partner as well, 30% Club.
Finally, our transport partner, Grab.
Now to get the ball rolling, let us put our hands together and give a warm welcome to the Director of the Youth Economic Forum 23, Ms. Awani Najiha binti Muhammad Razi, to deliver her welcome speech.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to the youthful people and everyone else. With us today, Madam Nurul Izzah binti Anwar, Co-Head Secretariat Advisory Committee to Finance Minister and opening keynote speaker to the Youth Economic Forum 2023. Mr. Syed Muhammad Arif bin Abdul Rahim, President of the Perdana Fellow Alumni Association, Mr. Farad Ahmad, Group CEO of PayNet, Mr. Bernard Yap, coming from Ernst & Young, distinguished guests and our beloved partners, honorable speakers and moderator, media representatives, committee members, volunteers, and the delegates of Youth Economic Forum 2023, welcome to YEF 2023. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Awani Najiha, and I stand here today as the Director of the Youth Economic Forum 2023. It is an honor to be here today, and it is a privilege to address such a diverse and enthusiastic audience. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to thank each one of you for participating in this forum. Thank you for investing your precious time this Saturday, and we hope that you are ready with all your questions for our speakers today. I would also like to extend my gratitude towards the Perdana Fellow Alumni Association for believing in my team to organize this flagship event. Ladies and gentlemen, as we gather here today, I challenge each and every one of you to be proactive in this forum. We have a very powerful speakers lineup, so listen attentively, enjoy the session, and inspire one another to think beyond boundaries. My team and I, when we did the planning for YEF, we swore that we try our best to uphold the tradition and maintain YEF as a platform for the youth to comfortably raise ideas, concerns, and anything that could bring good for the country. Our world is changing at a pace never seen before, and it is the young minds like those present here today who hold the potential to shape the future of our global economy. YEF 2023 is created not just for gathering of individuals, it is a celebration of ideas, innovation, and collaboration. Our theme this year is Growing Prosperity, Working Together, and Restoring Malaysia. This theme is more important than ever before. We assemble all the relevant agendas, starting from economic agendas to instill prosperity in Malaysia's economy, global and business agenda to highlight the power of ASEAN and the impact of ESG practices in business, what these two agendas could bring to Malaysia if we work together for it, and how education and political reform could actually restore Malaysia to its glory. Each agenda are designed hand in hand, and we're hoping that YEF will be a catalyst for change and the birthplace of new opportunities that drive economic progress in Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to thank my committee members, volunteers, and my loved ones for being my backbone, my strength, and my reasons to keep going for the best for YEF. I appreciate each one of you tireless effort that you have dedicated to make this happen. And I wish I could name each one of you here today. However, you know it would take a long time, so you know who you are. I could never thank each one of you enough, and I'm hoping that YEF will be a rewarding experience for all of you. Please give a round of applause to our committee and volunteers. As a way to show our support, Youth Economic Forum 2023, alongside Perdana Fellow Alumni Association, decided to contribute to Cinta Gaza Malaysia in hopes that it could lessen the struggle of the Palestine people. We reaffirm and stand with Malaysia's stance towards Palestine, and we encourage all to continue to speak up for our dear brothers and sisters. With that, I hope that all of you can enjoy the forum. Please, as much as you can, try to be proactive and, questions every little thing that our sponsors and that our speakers would say. And I would also like to remind all of you that the real work begins when this forum ends. Yes, we could hear anything from this forum, but the real work always begins after the process. Be the change makers you aspire to be and show the world the power of youth in Malaysia and how we care for our future. With that, stay until the end, enjoy the forum, be brave to ask for questions, expand your network, and thank you all for listening. That's all from me.
A round of applause for Ms. AWANI for the powerful speech. I'm sure our delegates are very brave and proactive in asking questions later on. There's no such thing as stupid questions anyway.
And now, we would like to call upon the President of the Perdana Fellow Alumni Association, Mr. Syed Muhammad Arif bin Syed Abdul Rahim, to deliver his welcome remarks. Please join me in giving him a warm welcome as he makes his way to the stage.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning. Thank you Roshan and Angie, the Master of Ceremonies for today. Yang berbahagia Puan Nurul Izzah Anwar, Co-Head for the Secretariat of the Advisory Committee to the Finance Minister, sponsors, speakers, moderators, Perdana Fellow Alumni, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Youth Economic Forum 2023. It is an honor to stand before you today as the President of the Perdana Fellows Alumni Association at a forum that underscores the future of our nation. On behalf of the Perdana Fellows Alumni Association and the Organizing Committee, I would like to sincerely thank our esteemed guests of honors, our sponsors and partners for this year's Youth Economic Forum 2023. Our official partner, Payments Networks Malaysia, PayNet, our corporate patron, Ernst & Young, our official education partner, Taylor's University, silver sponsor, the Asia School of Business, bronze sponsors, the Malaysian Industrial Development Finance Berhad, MIDF, and Kuala Lumpur Kepong Berhad, KLK. Our career partner, Talent Corp Malaysia, our venue partner, Bank Negara Malaysia, strategic partners, the World Bank Group, and the 30% Club, and our transport partner, Grab. Not to forget the distinguished lineup of speakers, subject matter experts, delegates, volunteers, and Perdana Fellow alumni that are here today. Thank you for gracing the 7th installment of the Youth Economic Forum. Also, to Ms. AWANI Najiha, Director of today's Youth Economic Forum, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you to you and your team and all your lovely volunteers for making today happen. We feel very humbled because without your support, we will not have been able to do what we want to achieve as an organization that pushes for the youth development agenda while nurturing future leaders. Your commitment to our cause has played a pivotal role in making this initiative a yearly success. And hopefully, we will be able to do this in the years to come. As we embark on this forum, we must remember that the strength of a nation lies in its youth. Our commitment to change, our readiness to adapt, and our ability to build bridges and bridging divides are the building blocks of a thriving, united Malaysia. This Youth Economic Forum is a platform where the potential of our youth meets the wisdom of experienced leaders, where innovation and tradition converge, and where ideas will shape the future. It is not just a gathering, it is a call to shape history. Now, this year's theme, Growing Prosperity, Working Together, Restoring Malaysia, is not merely a string of words. It is a call to action. It is a clarion cry that reminds us of our collective potential, our responsibilities, and our hopes. Growing prosperity is not about simple wealth accumulation. It is about creating opportunities for all, ensuring that every young person, regardless of their background, has the tools and the platform to prosper. Our generation, the youth, is blessed with the energy of innovation, the passion of entrepreneurship, and the vision for a sustainable future. It falls upon us to leverage on these strengths to chart the course for a Malaysia that offers equitable prosperity to all its rakyat. However, prosperity in isolation is but a hollow goal. It is working together that amplifies our achievements. Collaboration is the way forward. It is through mutual respect, understanding, and a shared purpose that we can address the challenges of our times. Remember, unity is not about thinking alike, but thinking together. As the youth, let us lead by example, breaking down barriers, fostering dialogues, and building bridges. Let us prove that when Malaysians come together, we are unstoppable. But to move forward, we must also honor our roots, understand our history, and correct our course when needed. That's where restoring Malaysia comes into play. To restore is not to revert to the past, but to acknowledge it, to learn from it, and build a resilient, inclusive, and harmonious future. It is upon the shoulders of the youth that way of this restoration lies. It is upon the torchbearers, the custodians of Malaysia's legacy and its promise. This forum today is a beacon, a testament of the will of the youth. As we deliberate, discuss, and dream over the next few days, and perhaps the next few years, let's remember the pivotal role that we played in growing prosperity, working together, and restoring Malaysia. I have every faith that with our combined energies, passion, and commitment, we will not just envision, but realize a Malaysia that is prosperous, united, and restored. As we step out of this forum today and back into the world, let us carry the spirit of collaboration, innovation, and restoration with us. Let's remember that achieving prosperity, working together, and restoring our beloved Malaysia is not a one-time effort, but an ongoing journey. In our quest to achieve prosperity, unity, and restoration, it is essential to recognize that Malaysia's youth aren't just passive witnesses to change. They are the driving force behind it. Their voices, dreams, and actions are pivotal on this path. Within their ranks lie the budding professionals who will steer industries, the trailblazers who will challenge the status quo, the policymakers who will shape the future, and the forthcoming leaders who will bear the nation's torch. As we conclude our discussions here today, let us pledge to equip and empower our youth with the tools and the support that they require to propel our nation forward. It is through the collaborative efforts of all generations that we can safeguard our prosperity, nurture our unity, and preserve our rich cultural diversity. The transformation we aspire to see begins with us today, because united, we possess the strength to brighten Malaysia as a beacon of progress, harmony, and rejuvenation. Before I end my speech today, I wish to share some words to all of you, and especially to the young professionals, change makers, policy makers, and future leaders that are here today, which goes by. Dreams without goals are just dreams, and ultimately they fuel disappointment. On the road to achieving your dreams, you must apply discipline, but more importantly, consistency, because without commitment, you'll never start, but more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. Denzel Washington wisely stated, without commitment, you'll never start, but more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. Reflecting upon our three core themes, growing prosperity, working together, and restoring Malaysia, it is evident that these aren't mere words, but a testament to our unwavering commitment to the youth. To grow prosperity, you must consistently invest in your dreams. To work together, stay consistently open to collaboration, and to restore Malaysia, consistently honor and uplift our shared values. Begin with commitment, endure with consistency, and together we'll craft the Malaysia we envision together. Thank you, and I trust you will all find today's Economic Forum enlightening, and engaging. I hope you all have a great day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Syed Muhammad, for the wonderful remark.
We would like to ask Mr. Syed to kindly remain on stage.
Now, it is our pleasure to invite Mr. Syed Muhammad Arif to present appreciation gifts to our partners as witnessed by Ms. AWANI for their unwavering support for the Youth Economic Forum. Without them, we wouldn't be here today.
We would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed partners who have played a crucial role in making the Youth Economic Forum 23 possible.
Please give a big round of applause to our strategic partner, 30% Club, represented by its chair, Dato Ami Morris. Thank you so much for your support.
Also, our strategic partner, World Bank Group, represented by...
Let's take a group photo.
Mr. Yasuhiko Matsuda, Country Manager, Malaysia. A round of applause, please.
And next, we would like to thank our career partner, Talent Corp, represented by Mr. Afiq Rosman, lead of Center of Excellence, Graduate and Emerging Talent.
Round of applause, please. Up next, our bronze sponsor, Kuala Lumpur Kepong Berhad, represented by its Assistant General Manager, Mr. Adrian Tan. A round of applause, please.
Up next, we will also like to thank our bronze sponsor, Malaysia Investment Development Berhad MIDF, represented by Mr. Lu Kin Han, Senior Vice President and Head of Group Strategy and Performance.
Up next, our silver sponsor, the Asia School of Business, ASB, represented by Madam Krutiga Perma, Director for Corporate Development. Our official education partner, Taylor's University, represented by Miss Marie Pereira.
We would also like to thank our corporate patron, Ernst & Young EY, represented by Mr. Bernard Yap, EY Malaysia Private Tax Leader and Partner. Once again, a round of applause for EY.
Lastly, our official partner, PayNet, represented by its Group CEO, Mr. Farhan Ahmad. A round of applause, please, for Paynet and Mr. Farhan Ahmad, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's give it up for all our 11 partners for their continuous efforts in making the Youth Economic Forum 2023 a success.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict, the Youth Economic Forum would like to show its support to the people of Palestine by presenting a mock check to representatives from Cinta Gaza, Malaysia, amounting to 10,000 ringgit.
With that, please welcome the Director of YEF, Ms. AWANI, to present the mock check to representatives from Cinta Gaza, Malaysia, Ms. Nur Afifa and Ms. Shafwar Murali, as witnessed by the President of PFAA, Mr. Syed Muhammad Arif.
A round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
We hope that the plight of Palestinians improves over time.
And now, it gives...
Thank you so much, Ms. AWANI, and also Mr. Syed for presenting the mock check.
And now, it gives us great honor to invite Madam Nurul Izzah Anwar, Co-Head Secretariat Advisory Committee to the Finance Minister, to deliver the opening key address of the Youth Economic Forum 2023. Please join me in welcoming Madam Nurul Izzah Anwar.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabihi ajma'in. Saudari AWANI, Najiha, pengarah program, Saudara Syed Muhammad Arif, Presiden Perdana Fellows Alumni Association, Mr. Farhan, our Group CEO, PayNet, pimpinan-pimpinan VVIP yang bersama, distinguished guests, the partners who have kindly rendered and given your support, members of the media, and I think most importantly, the ones we are celebrating here, the delegates of YEF 2023, ladies and gentlemen, syukur Alhamdulillah kita bertemu berbekal kesedaran bahawa setiap saat itu berharga dan solidariti sebagaimana ditunjukkan oleh Perdana Fellows kita menjadi kewajipan bersama. Kita mahu menolak jenayah perang dan mempertahan mangsa keaganan manusia, iaitu rakyat Gaza dan Palestin. Ia menjadi kewajipan bersama. Immediate ceasefire, and we must end the genocide. How we were outspoken when Ukrainians faced their plight, so shall we do the same in this regard. Demi keadilan sejagat, demi memacu masa depan yang kalis cabaran, we're talking about from extremism, worsening rogue states' behavior, and the return of the moral compass to the international world order. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam Malaysia Madani. I bid hello to all of you, and I call all of you the chosen ones. The chosen few have had first-hand experience, perhaps more so than me, in managing bureaucracy and navigating government to ensure not just effective but meaningful delivery takes place. despite the politics, and I don't just mean the politicians, because as you know, there's politics everywhere. Indeed, Perdana Fellows Alumni Association, yours is an entity that has survived and served many administrations, and yours is a noble mission to serve in government, no matter the role, to work in Malaysia's favor and for its future. The very best governments place the most capable and workable minds in the country in order to solve seriously complex and challenging problems. The very best governments prioritize the national mission, and it's everyone's job, yours and mine, regardless of our position, to ensure and to steer the government towards this mission. In my current hat, Farhan had asked me what I was doing before. My previous hat was as a member of parliament for about 3 terms. And right now, I lost my job, the last elections. And right now, in my current hat, as co-head of the Secretariat, we serve Tan Sri Hassan Marikan. It really brings me so much pleasure because we get to collectively work with a grouping of policy enthusiasts. We have economists, data scientists, financial analysts within the government and its related ecosystem, all in pursuit of evidence-based policy making, in pursuit of reforms. So thank you for inviting me to share some of my personal insights. It is my hope that we can learn from each other's respective experiences. I think the director of the program has given you many reminders to be proactive and to speak up. And I think it's just a reminder that not everyone is accorded the same space to speak up. Where many are silenced and many do not necessarily enjoy, I call it the lottery of birth, because we are Malaysians, we are not stateless, but not everyone enjoys the same opportunity. The theme of your choosing is growing prosperity, working together, restoring Malaysia. Each action item, my dear ladies and gentlemen, is very challenging in its own right. We are to grow prosperity, that's the task expected of us. I forgot the pengusi majlis. Hello everyone, sorry. We have to grow prosperity as the global economy slows down. We had many engagements with the World Bank, even EY, private sector, including the government agencies. So with FDI flows shrinking worldwide, it's going to be a big challenge. We are also left with deeper gaps because after the pandemic, you see the gaping hole in our healthcare as well as education sectors. We also have to work together. That's your other action item. When the Malaysian society, both rural and urban, not just having that divide, are more polarized than before. When one's race and religion becomes an issue, even though it's 2023. So there's much work, again, to do because, as your president stated, you do need to honestly come face to face with your past, the good and the bad, the strong and the weak. And this work to restore Malaysia and our collective future becomes all the more challenging, right? Because we're witnessing more humanitarian suffering due to the weaknesses of imperial powers to fairly dispense justice and condemnation across allies and foes. So all difficult challenges, but I would say it is not impossible. So what now? The pandemic had a range of financial, occupational, social, and psychological impacts on people, especially those at the bottom of our society. The pandemic served, among others, a reminder that we cannot allow anyone to fall through the cracks. I think as a consequence, the government realizes that it's imperative to have some provision of a basic social security net to prevent anyone from falling below a certain level of human dignity. We just attended a very important symposium organized by the University Malaya Social Wellbeing Research Center, and we had speakers predominantly the social protection expert, Dr. Stephen Kidd, as well as Dr. Amjad Rabi, who last served with ILO Iraq. So I think it's really important to study these findings and the structure of the Malaysian demography and society, but also move towards plugging those gaps. In the committee where I serve, we leverage on existing expertise belonging to EPF, KRI, Hazanah Research Institute, Think City, Hazanah, among others, all willing to share their insights. So this, we believe, is an important step in achieving Malaysia Madani. I'm sure you've heard that term many, many, many times, but allow me to share my own insights as someone who heard it when I was Form 4 or 16 years old. Basically, it's a concept originating from the Arabic word madaniya. It means civilization or highly developed social culture. So it was proposed as a model of good governance that aspires to establish social, economic, and structural conditions that can facilitate the emergence of a civilized society. It's not new or even a foreign concept, rather a fundamental principle in the Islamic theories of polity and governance ever since the medieval Muslim philosophers such as Al-Farabi to contemporary Muslim thinkers such as Muhammad Naqib Al-Atas. In his Islam, the concept of religion and the foundations of ethics and morality, Al-Atas explains that the term madaniya or tamadun is derived from the Arabic word madana, which means to build or to found cities, to civilize, refine, and humanize. So how could a civilized society allow anyone to live in a destitute, undignified life? No dignified society, we believe, should tolerate it when you have the resources to prevent it. In fact, we argue that a civilized, prosperous society should be able to guarantee everyone's social mobility, social security net, equality of opportunity regardless of social background, quality universal medical care, education, decent housing, affordable childcare and allowances, retirement benefits, and even a minimum income. It's in essence an agenda, a mission that not only aims at raising the ceiling, but also raising the floor. In other words, not only aspire, as mentioned earlier, to become a leading Asian economic powerhouse, but also to elevate dignity and status of our people. I added a part of aging faster than you think, because it affects you, it affects the youth. We're not living in a vacuum. We live together with different ages and groups. Nonetheless, you talk about the Malaysian youth of today and tomorrow. You face a more precarious future as our nation transitions from an aging society to an aged one in just over 2 decades, from 2020 to 2043. So we have a brief 23-year window. It stands in stark contrast to France and Sweden, which had the luxury of 115 years and 85 years, respectively. It's a big challenge that I guess when I was younger, did not expect Malaysia to face. So what are indeed the choices that are before us? You mentioned the 5 key areas you're going to work on. Well, from a policymaker perspective, I recall the story of Xerxes, or Keshaya Rasa, the Persian king of kings, in his conversation with his uncle and advisor, Artabanus, before embarking on a war of revenge. So the advisor goes, "The prudent leader dreads and reflects on everything that can happen to him, but is bold when he is in the thick of action." To which the king replied, "If you were to take account of everything, you would never do anything. It is better to have a brave heart and endure 1/2 of the terrors than suffer nothing at all. Big things are won by big dangers." I guess in our committee, we're trying to push for bigger things to be done. And of course, we understand we're not facing the dangers directly. But I think under Tan Sri Hassan Marikan, we are grappling with 4 scary things. The first is on government revenue. How do we increase the nation's revenue base and manage the ballooning operating expenditure? Second is restructuring subsidies to ensure that we provide for more holistic social protection, one currently very fragmented. The third, on the review to determine the relevance of GLCs in the current context and consolidate them where appropriate. This includes not just GLCs, GLICs, but also statutory bodies. And of course, the fourth, our national debt. How indeed do we keep them in check to manage and sustain all of you, the future generations? So as our nation matures and economy deepens in complexity, we require heightened involvement of the public sector to enable proper redistribution of wealth and public goods. But such functions, they need to be revisited, reviewed from time to time to ensure they meet their targeted objectives. For example, and again, I'm speaking on my personal capacity, one of the glaring items we are looking at is the fuel subsidy. We spent 52 billion ringgit just last year burning fuel. My words, and my words alone. That's 74% of our total subsidies, translating to 2.9% of GDP. Contrast this with our expenditure on healthcare operating costs, amounting to only 1.7% of GDP during the same period. Now, contrast again with the development expenditure at 99 billion ringgit Malaysia. What's development expenditure? What does it matter? Because it's about new productive investments, it's about expansion of healthcare, education, and the space where economic potential takes place. Imagine the substantial loss in opportunity cost, with almost two-thirds, but through fuel subsidies. I don't deny, granted, the aim behind these subsidies is noble. It's been decades there, but they have been proven regressive and counterproductive. Don't take my words for it. I think it's important to look at the evidence. How best do we secure then? Yeah? Because we still need to remember the main business of governing is to ensure that everyday challenges faced by the rakyat in dealing with the cost of living is managed well. Social well-being is not a luxury, but it's a fundamental human right. So how do you secure these savings? Because once you do it, and you're able to plug in rakyat's immediate needs, because there are, of course, different policy prescriptions on cash transfers and other sorts of investments, but I believe the government remains committed to fostering prosperity, ensuring the dignity of every citizen is secured through a robust safety net that adheres to international best standards. We, Malaysia, we're a signatory to the Sustainable Development Goals alluded to by your director. We must accord the best protection to all our citizens, integrating the 9 pillars of social security of the ILO into a comprehensive social protection strategy. And sometimes, as Dr. Stephen Cate warns us, don't be so occupied about targeting the poor, because when you target the poor, you end up with really poor outcomes. And it's not that you will never be in a precarious situation. Anyone along your life cycle can fall into a particular mishap, accident, and you would need this basic safety net to help you bounce up or bounce back. So every individual, irrespective of their background, has a chance to enjoy social and economic mobility, all the while secure and a meaningful and dignified life. So I just want to end this particular paragraph by asking you to imagine the utilization or removal of unproductive subsidies which countries like Iran and even Oman have taken actions on, to invest instead in healthcare so that more money can be spent on health promotion and prevention, so that young people need not be burdened with the job of financing the older generation's escalating medical needs. It's going to be a J curve, so it's going to get worse as you grow older. Ladies and gentlemen, so I think I also previously shared in my public engagement my conversation that I had with my eldest, Safia. She told me in my second term, when I was worried about seeking re-election, not to be disheartened if I didn't make it. For any job contracts, they're supposed to be finite. So the few years you secure, whether with Perdana Fellows, whether with the different ministries you serve, is an opportunity to initiate something meaningful. But make no mistake, it does not last forever. I think about the conversation I had with Safia often as we come up with suggestions, because you do need to place your suggestions, your grand ambitions, and arrange them in a critical matrix to prioritize the key areas you need to focus on. You cannot do everything. So much has been spoken on the need to not only expand our text base, but integrate our fragmented database to further develop downstream the resources at our disposal. Now, we used to talk about petroleum, but today we're having to face the challenging specter of REEs. So if you don't tackle it carefully, we're going to lose out the opportunity to follow through with our initial development model via Petronas. We develop the downstream and our own capabilities, not just sell raw resources to the highest bidder. So deepening our economic complexity requires a fine-tuned, mission-driven linkage across sectors in the industries, such as the Industrial Master Plan that MITI launched. It will also require, in my humble opinion, a more flattened hierarchical structure that values talent and performance to unearth the best in serving the fast-paced challenges of today. In our committee, we really value, regardless of your position, the best ideas that a person can offer. Now, those ideas should really be celebrated and, of course, acted upon. It's one thing to give an idea, it's another working on it. Youth and women. I actually chanced upon the 2023 Annual Economic and Social Council Youth Forum. It was just organized by the United Nations under the theme Accelerating the Recovery from the COVID-19 Disease and the Full Implementation of the 2030 Agenda for SDG at all levels. My team member is the Scouts, so most of us are. We follow instructions and do good things. But the point is, I think I was listening and referring to one of the participants where they said it involved 150 participants from 22 countries. They presented the assessment, all young people, vision, and recommendations for member states' consideration before the SDG Summit in September 2023. Young people are ready, willing, and able to participate in bigger conversations about their lives and futures. And that's why the report stated that young people must be placed at the heart of all mobilization efforts to provide them with the opportunity to shape the agenda. So I actually am looking forward to some questions if the organizer permits, because I feel there's one thing sharing from my end, it's also important to hear from you, because I'm sure you have your own insights that have helped you manage and survive the current experience you've had in government. I would just add, like, one of the key things I feel before I go into how we plan to promote more youth-centric and female-centric gender equality in the budget and the government, I think the importance of having clear-cut sense and understanding of boundaries as we navigate professionalism at work, in the home space, but also the readiness to prepare ourselves with the necessary mental resilience. I say this because I think one of the most important things in school, when I send my children to school, is to ensure they have a very strong ecosystem that supports their mental health, not just from the onslaught of the challenges that's presented in all forms, but also to make sure they understand the importance of maximizing their own talent and the fact that they're going to be treated the same regardless who their parents are. In Belanjawan 2024, there's much incentives to further support the spirit of volunteerism, which was one of the key facets of findings what youth people want. Young people want to be given the space to volunteer. Young people want to basically contribute to the future. And it stated that among youth between 18 to 20 years old, there's a program called Pay It Forward. A reward will be given provided to youth who have successfully participated in volunteering activities with an entity recognized by the government. We also see reintroduction of Rakan Muda. I'm quite proud of this. I was 15, I think, when I first heard of it. And sometimes in Malaysia, it doesn't really matter how the rose smells, as long as you know it's an important flower. So it really doesn't matter which prime minister introduced it, but we do need institutional memory to make sure that we build on existing capacities and strengths. So there's much as well programs that's offered, whether it's TVET, whether it's for women, and I'm sure all of you are going to be experts in the reading the budget, since I have 0 minutes left. So I'll end with my final para, basically. To all of you, I think we've alluded to this in terms of the geopolitical tensions forming the barrier of what we can or cannot do within our control and boundaries and borders. So we do need to build our own inner resilience. This is where we have to come together. And it really breaks my heart because I first joined, my political life began with a multiracial party. Even Palestine began with a nation that was multi-religious and multicultural. So that is something that we as Malaysians have to be not just holding sacred, but we also need to appreciate and hold it with great pride. As John Lewis Gaddis woefully reminded us on the need to be strategic. To avoid mistakes, we need to align potentially unlimited aspirations with necessarily limited capabilities. Expanding means may attain more ends, but not all, because ends can be infinite and means can never be. So whatever balance you strike, there will be a link of what's real and what's imagined between your current location and your intended destination. Let's not go back what I thought it would be like when we are in government to what it is today. Of course, there will be a gap, but whoever said governing would be easy, it is a heavy responsibility that reminds you to carry it wisely. So I would like to thank the entire Youth Economic Forum Committee, volunteers, and the Perdana Fellows alumni for this wonderful forum. I believe you're making significant impact, so please speak up. Dan alang-alang menyeluk perkasam, biarlah sampai ke pangkal lengan. Selamat berjuang, Perdana Fellows. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Madam Nurul Izzah Anwar. Madam, please kindly remain on stage. Once again, a big round of applause for Madam Nurul Izzah Anwar.
As a token of our appreciation, we would like to invite Mr. Syed Muhammad Arif to present an appreciation gift to Madam Nurul Izzah Anwar as witnessed by Ms. AWANI Najiha.
Thank you so much, Madam Nurul Izzah Anwar, for your unwavering support for the Perdana Fellows and also for the Youth Economic Forum.
As well as the inspiring speech earlier. We would like to invite all on stage to kindly pose for a quick photo. Following this photo, we would like to invite Madam Nurul Izzah Anwar down from the stage to take a group photo with all the participants from YEF 2023.
With this, ladies and gentlemen, may I kindly ask all of you to sort of stand up and then move towards the center of the auditorium.
For those on the left and right sides of the hall, kindly squeeze in so that you can be fitted into the photo.
And
the
our photographers, feel free to come up on stage and take the best angle, the best photos.
Can I invite everyone to move a bit faster, especially those on the left and right, please. Thank you.
Let's do it quickly within like 30 seconds. Come on, let's go. Everyone from the left and the right just move towards the center. Photographers, are we okay with this or do we want to move even closer? Those
Can
on
we
the
invite
left.
everyone to move closer, please? Yes. Ushers, maybe you can help us out. Can we invite everyone to move closer? We will start with a serious photo, followed by a candid photo.
Can we also have someone to fill up the front row, please? Photographers, all good? A formal one, maybe? Oh, everyone looks so serious.
And now for our candid photo, ladies and gentlemen.
You can do your finger heart or a thumbs up. Smile. Photographers, you're good? Okay, thank you so much for your cooperation. Kindly take your seats.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now enter into our first agenda of the day, the economics agenda.